year, new team, it's the same dream. New Knicks City uniform, they stay clean. I just caught mine off of Fanatics in the garden with my hands in the air, we back at it.
What's going on, everybody? We are back. Bobby Connor's on the ones and two, rocking you rock. Oh, wait, wrong show. My bad. SKF Weekly in the house, baby.
Yeah, we here. Once again, full effect. That's your morning show, bro. That's
my bad. I didn't know where I was, B. I didn't know where I was. I thought we was ripping and running, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we back, baby. Thank you guys for tuning in to SKF Weekly. I am Ron. That is my brother, John. We are back in full effect. We got another good show for you, and we got a special guest that we have been waiting to chop it up with for a while for SKF Weekly, so it's going to be a dope conversation. Now, that being said, unfortunately, today has not been the greatest day for Knicks news, but we're going to get into it, y'all. Don't worry. We here.
We're going to be all right. We in
it together. We in it together. Anyway, you know what I mean? How you been, John? You good?
I'm good, man. Excited to be here. You know, had a pretty solid day today. You know, weekend was chill. So, yeah, all in all, doing well, man. Props to my son. Had a couple of AAU games this past weekend. You know, did his thing. He played for two different teams, played for 15. I mean, he's 15, so he played for 15U, which is like 15 and younger. And then he also played for the 18U team, which is, you know, any age up to 18. And he did his thing. He played hard, you know. So they did well enough to get to, you know, towards the end of the tournament and then, you know, lost. but good learning experience, man.
Exactly. So John got another athlete in the family.
Another one.
That's right. It don't stop.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm glad to hear that, brother. I'm glad, you know, things are going well. I'm glad to see Jay doing his thing out there, and we're going to keep watching, see the rise, because this guy's a multi-sport young man. So we got to watch John and how he takes him from basketball to boxing to soccer to like what baseball.
Right?
I'm like, what the hell, bro?
I'm telling you, it's three sports. Hopefully it just sticks to that. You know?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I gotta cut together a little highlight reel to show her.
Yeah. It's in the blood, you know, in the veins.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, without further ado, guys, let's get to our special guest. We have been talking about chopping it up for a little while now, just all about timing and being able to have us all together, you know, John and I, to be able to talk and have a really good conversation with this man. And if you remember, maybe about a month ago or so, I was on his show. That's right. I'm talking about the objective Knicks fan. He is in the building. Let's get him up here.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Salute, everybody. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate the love, man. Yes. yes. Take it easy. But not. Thank you, Ron and John, for having me. You know, it's a pleasure being here. We got some things to talk about. Crazy day for Knicks fans indeed.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
man.
Yes. But hold on,
All
quickly. I want to say this because I remember you guys did a show and Ron, you was talking about the heliocentric, you know, star system and things of that nature. I'm kind of into science, so
okay.
I thought about it and I said, wait, you know what? Yes, that was true. Last year we were a heliocentric model, but this year we will be a binary star system. There are solar systems where there are two stars in the center, and all the planets orbit them. So, yes, let's go. Let's rock and roll. Let's get to it.
I like this man has done his research, y'all. He is ready.
Yes, I have.
He's ready to go. Coming in hot, people.
Oh boy. This is okay, let's start where we need to start. You guys know what it's about. We got to get into it, right? So first off, what's your thoughts on you know, Phil Jackson's time with all right. That's not what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna have to talk about
heliocentric.
Yeah. But that is a really dope point. It's a very good point. I think that just to piggyback on that, I do think that we were in that type of offense, or but
Yeah.
it was basically because of necessity, right? Julius was out, but with Julius being there, as John's pointed out, he is a very heliocentric player in his own right. So to say that we are specifically just that and with Jalen Brunson was probably false, because we probably got two guys that can do similar things. Brunson is just more suited to do it because he's a point guard as well, but
Right.
but we know how Julius can do things, and we may expect Julius to do a lot of that this year anyway, especially with all the other weapons here. He may be facilitating and passing the ball, so it works out. So, but good point by John previously, and by Karan, the objective Knicks fan tonight, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm here. Let's go.
Yes. All right, guys, let's talk about it. I know y'all are like, what is going on here? Oh boy. Okay. Well, if you're living under a rock and haven't seen the news, the report came out today that Mitchell Robinson will not be ready for the start of the season. He may not be ready for the first month. He possibly might not be ready until 2 months. Like they don't really know, but they're keeping the timetable very open-ended. They said it could be, November, it could be December. Ah, boy. Let me get over to you, my objective fan over here. What's your thoughts on this one, bro?
Well, I even heard January. January.
Wow,
January
I didn't even hear that. Oh, so, man, damn.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, and I dropped a pod earlier today, and it was a pre-recorded show, and I was telling John earlier that, hey, these guys kind of stepped all over my show because I did an injury report, and of course I only had the news from yesterday. And it's funny, up until this point, we had no Mitchell Robinson news at all. Like, there was no talks of anything. It was very quiet, very hush-hush. So I'm like, okay, let me give a report because everybody was freaking out. And I'm like, well, we don't have nothing saying anything. Boy, was I updated today. So in getting the news, I'm not surprised, because even if you listen to my pre-recorded show earlier, I said that, him coming off the 2 stress fractures, it could be a chance he may miss time. But until we get an actual report, let's go from there. But I'm going to say this, guys, and this might sound crazy. This could be a blessing in disguise. And let me say why I say that. The first reason why I say that is because now everyone who was concerned, especially to all my guys, salute to everybody who I was concerned about the backup center spot. Oh, what are we going to do if Mitch gets hurt? Now the front office has to address it if it needs to be addressed in the first place. I mean, we still got to give some credence to, if they don't make a move, we still have Jericho Sims and we still have Precious Achiuwa. Who knows? They may work out, right? So, or we have Ariel. We also have him as well. So I think that this can actually be a blessing in disguise, because now we have to address, whether it's keeping one of our guys or trading for someone else. I think that's where we are right now. We have to see what exactly Leon Rose wants to do. I think another move is possible, but of course we will have to wait to December 15th to get some of the guys that, guys been throwing around, like Jonas Valanciunas and these things. So that's my take right now. I think that now we're going to have to address it. If it's something where we're going to have to bring in a piece, they're going to have to make a move.
Yeah, man, I think you're right about that. John, how do you feel about this, bro?
Yeah, man, that's a great take. It's really just that, you have an opportunity to see what you have, on the team. And I thought all in all, I never thought that the Knicks would go out and get a center before the start of the season anyway. I always thought it was always going to take place sometime in February, once they get to assess how this team looks as a unit, So I don't think anything's changed on behalf of, from what I believe the front office wants to do. This is partly why we stocked up on the picks that we do have and on the players that we picked up, even on these, these contracts that are coming in for, like, Payne and Shamet and even Morris, you know what I mean? Because those are tradable pieces, alongside probably a player like Deuce, if necessary. So I think we're still in the same position that we were planning to be in. And I'm not sure if they even knew the timetable and what the timetable could be with Mitchell Robinson. I think they felt it necessary to start the season the way we are fit and to see if anything, if we can get anything out of some of the guys that we have on this roster, like a Sims. You know, this is what, his 4th year now, right, with the team. He would be 4 years in.
He was 4 years.
4 years in, right? So at this point, he spent time on the bench. He's had opportunities to start when guys were down. He hasn't, played extremely poorly to the point where we want to just give up on the kid. So I think he's shown spurts, at least enough to gain the confidence of Coach Tibbs. And I think this is the reason why we're going in the direction that we're going in right now. We're waiting to see how the start of the season goes. And then if need be, February, something happens. There's always a disgruntled star or two that, finds their way out of their situation come February. So, you want to have your options open as a team. And I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're both you're basically nailing it with regards to what it looks like and how this is, it's all, happening right now. I think the issue that worries me a little bit is just that I felt really confident. I was one of the few people. I mean, I don't know how many people out there feel that way, but I mean, there's a good amount of us. I was one of the few people in that regard that felt like the Knicks don't need to rush, like that they can play it out, see what this team's got, see what not only what the players that they currently have can contribute to the team, but also you have a better idea to understand what your needs are, right? Because you go out there, you run your lineups, you run your sets, you see what the defense is doing, you see how things work. Are we getting proper spacing? Do we have any rim protection? Are we do we even need rim protection? Are we adequate defensively and strong enough that rim protection is not that big of a deal since we have such really strong defensive players on the wing and stuff like that. But now that we know Mitch's timetable is in the air, that's a little bit different. And I gotta say, I don't think that the Knicks can go too far in the season without addressing this in some way, shape or form. It doesn't have to necessarily be the goal, right? It's not what you want. That the goal can still be there for the trade deadline, but it might be now. I got to look at things a little different. It might be nice to throw a Bismack Biyombo on the bench somewhere, or throw can't think of the light-skinned brother's name, right? JaVale McGee. It might make a little bit more sense to at least have that dude on the bench just in case. Like I don't know if they're gonna need it, but it's better to have a little something than nothing when you basically got no center right now. Or at least no tall center, should I say. That's what worries me. So that's it's all about height. Do I think the Knicks can do some things? Yes. And we're going to talk about that when we get into our small ball conversation soon. But yeah, I'm just concerned about that, man. And I feel bad for Mitch, honestly, because I mean, Mitch has been out with injuries for such a long time throughout his career. And like the other thing about him is we talk about injury prone people. What about people that heal slowly? Like Mitch, whatever Mitch gets, it'd be taking Mitch a while to come back, man. So that worries me a little bit too. That's tough. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, do you think like no, I don't want to say it. I ain't gonna put it out there. I'm gonna stay away from it until we start the season. If I see something crazy, then I'll be like, you know what I was thinking a couple months ago? Nah, I'm gonna leave it alone right now. I don't want no more bad juju. I'm gonna leave it alone. But I'm just I do want to say to you guys that why can't we have nice things? What is it, man? Why can't we have nice things? It's all right. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna be fine. I think we will be okay. But before we get into the conversation about small ball, because this is going to be very prevalent now. This was going to be a topic today anyway, But now that
Right.
Mitch is not going to be there, oh boy, it's on the radar now, folks. It's happening whether we want it to happen or not. We're going to see a lot of it unless they make a change. And I get scared about that too. Now, oh wait, before we get into the next thing, and I shout out the chat, see what they got going on. Are you guys at all worried that the Knicks might do something harsh and pull the trigger and give up something that they really didn't want to give up to get something happening here? What do you think, Ron?
I'm gonna say that we have this idea as Knicks fans, right? This is why I try to stay objective as much as I can, because you fall in love with players, but we can't act like we don't see that this team is guard heavy, right? Wing heavy. I mean, you know what they say, in order to get something you want, you're gonna have to give up something to get it. So, I don't want to say any names right now. I don't want the Knicks Nation to come for me right now. But I will say this. If there is a player in the rotation that is a guard, and a team is willing to take that guard on and willing to give you a center that you need, and it's just one player and maybe a second round pick or something like that, because we don't got a lot of picks as it is anyway available for trade, I say you have to do it, because, and this is why I said it was a blessing in disguise, because now if Mitch goes down, you have that Isaiah Hartenstein-like big who actually can hold you down. Because we all knew coming into the season that Mitch was going to go down at any point, right? It's just like an accident waiting to happen. You just hope that it wasn't going to be too big of an injury or a situation where he's not in the playoffs. Now, if you address it now, then later on, you'll always have this, backup, person to go to. So I would say, I understand we love our rotation. We love these guys. They fought hard. A lot of these guys were there, when we had a lot of injuries and stepped up to the plate. But I'm for the Knicks first. And if we can get somebody who's going to help shore up our only weakness that we all knew coming into the season, which is the 5 spot, right? But to be fair, the 5 spot also can be like, it's kind of like a quagmire, because Precious and Sims could very well hold it down. So you're kind of playing a little bit of Russian roulette, because you don't know what these guys are going to give you. But at the same time, like Ron said, it's good to have a center that's 7 feet. So me personally, as much as I don't want to do it, but if like a Nick Richards comes available, because Charlotte, they don't know what the heck they're doing. I'm just going to say, I'm trying to be nice, but you might get a team that really just trying to move off a guy because, hey, maybe they got a new president or something like that. So I do think that it's an option. I'm going to say it like that. And it may be something we have to consider, especially, you don't want to start the season, 5-5, 6-7, 6-8. The East is stacked and loaded. So I think that if you are planning on making a move, the earlier, the better.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. What you think, John? You think Deuce is a goner? Because
I'm gonna stick to what I was saying earlier. Is that I think all in all, I think the front office wants to see what we have, and I think they're gonna hold true to that. I think Tibbs is gonna want them to hold true to that, and I could be wrong. I think they will consider anything. The reality is that it's not about what you've done in the past; it's what you do for me lately, right? What have you done for me lately? When you come to like people in front office, it's really, that's what it's about. If the Knicks are winning, they won't have any issues, right? Then there's time to delay any transaction. It would be depending on what the record looks like and whether we're in it or we're out of it, as we said earlier. So, in my opinion, I think we're just going to stay true and hold tight until February comes around and see where we stand. If we're below their marker and their expectation of where they want the team to be, I think we make a move. If not, I think we stay packed. So that's where I'm at with it. But I have faith in the guys that we have. I think the maturity level of Sims right now should be at an all-time high. He's going to get every opportunity to win this job, and then now this gives an opportunity to Hawk Porty to, find a way into a rotation potentially. I'm not all sold on Precious as a center. I think he's undersized. It's 6'8". You know what I mean? But I think he can give you some minutes when you need them.
Right.
Spot minutes at that position. And then it's a new NBA. NBA is getting a lot smaller, right? So like there's a handful of centers, maybe, and then you have like folks like Kevin Durant and Wemby that are sort of like unicorns, you know, that can play outside of that position, but they have the length and height on the defensive side. So that's where it becomes a real mismatch, in my opinion, when the Knicks are up against those kind of players, because we don't have the height to contend with those players who can go out in the 3-point line and extend it, you know what I mean, to defend them. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I agree, man. I still think the Knicks are going to take a look at what they got. Although something in the back of my mind is telling me that the first 3 weeks of the season is going to be important. Not the first two, maybe so much, because people are still feeling themselves out. We all have watched basketball enough that know that you really don't know what a team is until after the first month, right? But I think the first 3 weeks, that third week, if the Knicks don't look like what the front office thinks they should be looking like, I wouldn't be surprised if they go get something just to, at least to hold them over. But I do think that you brought up a great point, John. This is a fantastic opportunity for somebody who we thought might be situational and may not even have a chance. Like Huck Porty might have a chance to get some minutes and show what he can do. This is his best opportunity to possibly win a job in the rotation. So we'll see what happens. But I do also think that this lends to Precious, right? Because Precious's time is precious. Ooh, bars. His time is going to be valuable, especially with the fact that Randle will be part of that center mix in the small ball lineup stuff. So having somebody competent like a Precious that can play the power forward position is a nice thing to have. I know, guys, we got Marcus Morris. I know we have Jericho, but Precious is the one who's already earned the luxury of that availability and playing time in Tibbs's eyes. Marcus Morris, I think, is more of a break glass and case type of situation. Tibbs knows what he's going to give you, what he can give, but he's also, you know, a little older, and it's more of like, all right, you know how it is to be a Knick. If we need you, we know who you are. I just think these other guys should get the time to see what they got going on. And if they look like crap, man, then you know who's on the bench waiting. Because once Marcus, listen, that's the thing. We talked about this a couple years ago when we had the situation with Kimba and Fournier. And we used to have that conversation going back and forth, man. You know, Tibbs knows what he's got going on, but I don't think Tibbs wants to go to the bench yet. Because once Tibbs goes to the bench, you know what I mean?
Back, right?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So we'll see what happens. These guys are gonna get their shot, and we'll go from there. But before we get into the next thing, I just want to shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. We got 69 watching across all platforms, X, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Deron Wayne, a member of the SKF Army. Appreciate you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. 713 Gamer in the building. Flicker D, what up, brother? Good to see you. Another member of the SKF Army. We got Andios in the building. Salute Andios. Please show, like his content. Go show him some love. Follow on Instagram. Inspirational, funny, great stuff. Every day he's consistent. Shout out to Dwayne Dennis in the building. Appreciate you, my brother. Kareem Grant, what up, twin? Good to see you. We got a cast over from Objectives show. Maxine Fiato in the building. What's going on, Maxine? Good to see you again in the chat. Thank you.
Salute.
And you know, I always do this for the ladies. Let's go, Maxine. Welcome to Still Knick fans. Appreciate you. Walter Blackman is in the building. What up, Walter? Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. We also got the sporting page in the building. The sporting page has entered. I love this guy, man. Man, he's one of a kind. Good to see you, sporting page. L, damn it, is in the building. What up, L? Pew pew. Yes, share the live. It's free 99. Facts. And also, guys, if you're on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, please share the live and show some love, because I know you guys can't like or subscribe if you're over there, but you can at least share it out to your people so that they know we're here rocking. We appreciate it. And guys, if you are out there and you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We're on the road to 3K. We're getting there. The numbers are starting to go up slowly but surely. We're going to get there. So thank you for your support. All right, a couple more people. Let me say what's up to Cubero brother in the building. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Coach Sires in the building. Salute. Thank you. Deshaun Wyatt is in the building. Hey, what's going on, Deshaun? I don't think I've seen you in the chat. Is this someone from your chat?
Yeah, that's my family in the building. We got my family in the building. Some of my Discord family in there. Salute to everybody in the building. You know how we get down. I wish I had my soundboard. Salute to everybody.
Hey, man. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you. Knicks will be 2025 26 champs is in the building. What's good? Good to see you, brother. D-Block in the building is here. Salute to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to Randle in the building. David Smith is here. Shout out to you, my brother. Another member of the SKF Army, and you can be too. Just got to hit that join button on your laptop or on your desktop computer. I wish we could do it on mobile, but YouTube knows there's an issue with that. So it's not just us. Anyway, shout out to all y'all. Julian Blum is in the building. What up, Julian? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you as always. Stacks Man's Ado. Yeah, Stacks Man's Ado is in the building. Salute. What's going on, Stacks? Good to see you. Let me see. There's a run through. Oh, look at that. We got a new subscriber. Thanks to Stream Ellens. Thank you, Maxine. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the SKF clan. Appreciate you.
Definitely subscribe.
Yes. D Coolest 718 is in the building. What up, D Coolest? Brooklyn Butch is here. Salute. Prezi the Boss is in the building. Carlos Tejada is here. Salute. Let me see, just a couple more guys and we'll get right back into it. I just want to show y'all some love. Dripmore, the preferred barber of Still Knicks fans and the Knicks community, is in the building. Let's go. What up, Dripmore? We got Za in the building. What up, my Filipino brethren? How we doing? Good to see you. And let's see. I think I'm hit all the usual suspects, man. I think I'm good. Oh wait, did I already say the wrong one? Yeah, I did. What up, Deron? Good to see you again.
Julian Blum, Kenny Payne.
Looking good, Chris doing Woolard. It.
Appreciate you too, Chris Woolard.
Hey, what up, Chris? Good to see you. Okay, yeah, I got everybody. All right, thank you guys. And if I missed anybody, it's not for lack of trying. We love you guys. Appreciate y'all always showing love. But the other thing I noticed, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but we got us a super chat, folks. Thank you to the 713 Gamer. He says, my pappy used to call me the 713 Nick back in the Gap. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being here and always supporting and showing love to the show. Thank you for the generous super chat, my brother. All right. Boy. We talked about this on Saturday, but I just want to get these fine gentlemen's thoughts on it real quick while I have them. Before we get into the next topic. It's the end of an era, man. End of an era. I want to know what you guys think about the fact that we no longer have one of the best sideline broadcast reporters, Rebecca Haarlow, for the Knicks, man. 9 years. And she is moving on to she has her own consulting company. So she's going to be working on a lot of different things. But just your thoughts, man. I start with you, John. Rebecca Haarlow, bro.
Yeah, well, look, she was a staple here with New York, a couple of years in strong, working with the Knicks media team. So, kudos to her. She's moving on to greener pastures. She's doing something that she loves. And, obviously it's going to be helping others and teaching them the business. So it's all good, man. Congratulations to her. And we wish you well as Knicks fans.
Facts. What's your thoughts, brother, on Rebecca?
Well, a lot of people, speculated, oh my God, is it trouble in paradise? What's going on? Because we know her and Wiley were dating. And I think it's less of that and more of when you reach a certain level in your career and you're at the pinnacle, and then you also have your own business, you want to separate from the man, for lack of better terms, right? You want to, you want to work for yourself. And I think this is just one of those occasions where she's put in her time, she's got her name and her reputation and her career to a high level. So now she just wants to take and do for herself. And maybe her business is just, became too much of a burden working both things. I kind of had that transition as well when I stepped away and I went to work for myself as well. So I can relate to what she's going through. A lot of people were speculating. I think those things were just more so, just rumors or just baseless assumptions because, her and Wiley have been dating since 2021. So I think this is more of just her reaching out and, taking that step to just being a full-time entrepreneur. No safety blankets, no job, no none of that. So I salute her. I talked about that earlier. I think that, she's at a point right now where she knows what she wants and she's doing well. So I think it's a great move.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Good for her. Yeah. Shout out to you, D Coolest. Yeah, we saw that. Fred Katz is gone too. Yeah, I don't know. Ever since Diddy got a no, I'm just joking. Anyway, so yeah, no, I'm done. Come on, man. I'm here all night. All right, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, shout out to Fred Katz. Good for him. It's a shame because you know what? At one time, I said, you know what, let's reach out to Fred and get him on the show, and I just never did it. So it's a shame because now he's not even covering the Knicks. So, but good for him. He's definitely a voice that we all kind of look to get some of our Knick info. I think what happens with those type of guys, those beat writers that cover the Knicks. They have good run, and then the next person comes in, and we kind of gravitate towards that person. So we'll see who that becomes. I don't know who's going to be replacing him, but we still got Ian Begley, y'all. So we all right. We all right. Okay. So yeah, now that we know what's going on, and now that we know it's really happening, there's no way to get around it now. It's happening, guys. So for there's people out there that do not like small ball. I get it. I mean, it's it's an acquired taste. It's happening, guys. Listen, we're not avoiding it now. With Mitch out, what does a small ball lineup look like for the Knicks, guys? So let's try this. Why don't we, what's the ideal small ball lineup? What do you think is if you got to go with it, what's the lineup you would like to see out there? What do you think, Karan?
Well, I talked about this on Level-Headed Knicks Talk as well on Thursday, and I was like, the small ball lineup was contingent on Mitch, and it was an alternative, something that we can use, not as a permanent option. Now it's looking like it might become a permanent option without Mitchell there. I don't know what Tibbs is going to do, but my initial thoughts was like against a team like Boston, where you have KP who shoots average 3-point shots from 27 feet out. Go with a small ball lineup because he's not looking to post you low, and he's not a rebounding machine. At least he's not a rebounding machine with Boston. So I wanted to use it in situations where you're dealing with more of a perimeter-centric team or a team that also is playing small. I think without Mitchell Robinson, depending on it's a lot of factors here. If the wings can't hold up, like Ron said, we do got some great wings. I think this could be the best wing defensive team we probably had in a very long time. I'm not going to say in Knicks history, but you can't tell me a time where on the wing defensively we were as good as we are now, or at least had the talent that we have on the wings defensively. So maybe that can hold up with a smaller center. Precious Achiuwa does. I think he blocks a shot a game and he gets a steal, right? He's just not a 7-footer. I don't know. I mean, I didn't want it to be a permanent thing, right? I don't want to start Julius Randle at the 5 because Coach Tiz was, quoted for saying that he wants to try Randle at the 5. I think that technically small ball right now would possibly be Precious at the 5, right? Because he's the same size as Randle. So if I'm going to say small ball now looks like, Precious at the 5 and then Randle backing him up, like in these key moments that I was saying before, I guess maybe you don't lose what you would have had with Mitch, but it's all in Precious because to be real, he looks better at the 4 than he does at the 5, right? But he's had his moments at the 5 as well. So I don't know. I just think that we're going to solve the problem early now. Now you don't have Mitchell Robinson there, and it's not we'll deal with it later. Now they're going to really have to narrow in, and I think training camp will be the focus to see, okay, do we have a starting five right now? And if by the end of training camp, first 10 games, they don't see it, I think they're going to probably make a move. So that's what small ball center looked like to me. At first, it was kind of like just an alternative thing. Now it's really contingent on how well Precious Achiuwa does handling that 5 spot. If he can hold it down, I mean, it's going to be a task. But the good thing is, and I looked at the list of all the centers, you're not dealing with a Joel Embiid every night. You're not dealing with a Jokic every night. And even Embiid and Jokic are not so post dominant where all their damage is done in the lower paint. They like to be in mid range. Jokic is playing point guard, right? And most of the other centers, these guys is like KP shooting from 27 feet out. You got a bunch of Rudy Goberts that don't really post up, right? Even though, Rudy Gobert supposedly was working on his game, and I know in the Olympics he was trying to post up down low a little bit more, but I don't know. I think that the fives in the league right now, being that they're not really that paint focused on the offensive end, you could get away with it, and if you're talking December, if you want to wait for Mitch to come back, it may be willing to roll the dice. But that's what small ball looks like to me now. It's going to be Precious Achiuwa manning the 5 with Randle backing him up. So,
yeah. I just want to say, in true Knick fashion, isn't it interesting that now that we've been Knick fans, I mean, I don't know how long you've been a Knick fan, but a Knick fan throughout this organization, this regime, isn't it interesting that you get it now, you see it, that whenever the Knicks come out with some type of statement, coincidentally, oh yeah, Thibodeau talks about Randle being this, lets you know they already knew this was all happening. We just didn't know yet. It's always like, oh, I get it. Oh, wow. Was that? I wish I would have thought about that because the writer was on the wall. I probably should have said, damn, he's talking about Julius at center, man. Something must be really wrong with Mitch. Like, he ain't ready. I should have thought about it. Damn it. It's all right. It's okay. Let me, before I get over to John. You know what that means, y'all. We got us a super chat. Shout out to 713 Gamer once again. Thank you, my brother, for the super chat. He said, yo, let me see everyone in here. Pete Diddy smash the like button. Okay. I mean, it's gonna be tough for him to do it, but I'm sure he would. Also, shout out to L Damn It in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for the generous super chat. Appreciate you. Said make sure to follow Still Knick Fans on all platforms. That's right, guys. Our social media presence couldn't be stronger. We are on Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. Please show love to us and follow us on all platforms. Also, I did mention this before, but I'm just going to reiterate it since I just brought it up. We are on the road to 3K, right? And because we're on the road to 3K, one of the things we want to do is once we hit that 3K mark, maybe do a nice little giveaway of some sort, right? But one of the conditions for the giveaway is that you do have to be following Still Knick Fans on all platforms. It's not much to ask, guys, but, if you have some time, and if you're already on the platforms, and listen, if you don't have an account, that's one thing. But if you have an account, hey, click on that Still Knick Fans and hit follow. It costs you nothing. It's free 99, like L likes to say, and we appreciate it. And by the way, guys, just so you know where we're at, 29-25, y'all. We are on the road to 3K. Look at us. Look at where we at. Let me get this out of here. Boom. Thank you for all your support on the road to 3K. We're at 2,925 subs, only 75 away from 3K, guys. Let's make it happen. All right. Well, thank you. That is my announcement. I'm done. All right, John. What's your thoughts on a small ball lineup? Do you have one that you think works the best, or how do you envision it?
I'm just gonna take exactly what your advice was just a second ago. Exactly how Tibbs said it's gonna be. He doesn't plan on playing Randle in the 5 for a large amount of minutes. I think he's gonna play it the right way. And I think for the most part, we're gonna see Sims win a center position. and it's going to be his to keep. And then from there, he will mix and match lineups to either add a Precious Achua or even go Randle 5 and go with Hart at the 4, because Hart has played it in the past, depending on what the lineups they'll be playing against. Like what is another team's bench going to look like? Are they coming in with a solid 5, big men, or are they, coming in with shooters? Because if they're coming in with shooters, Hart can contend with any, power forward. He out rebounds power forwards and some centers. So with that said, I can see Hart playing the 4, Randle at the 5, OG, Macau, even DiVincenzo at times, depending on what you need. Do you need defensive stops? Do you need some shooting? Because if you need some shooting, you keep Macau and Devo in, and you could always put, OG, barring, his health, he could play the 4. So we have a variety of ways that we can play small ball lineups. And I think it's to our advantage that we mix and match as needed. But I do, I'm going to take what Tib says to heart right now at this point in time and say the plan is for Randle to see some 5 and see some minutes at the 5. So we'll see how it goes, man. But I don't think it's a detriment to the team. I think it's just going to help. I think it's going to help us be more versatile.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because there's a road for us to be really dynamic and offensive, weapon, like huge firepower. Huge firepower. If we could do this right, because Randle at the center spot just gives you something that not a lot of guys in the league can give you. I mean, of course, you got the best centers like the Jokic's and the Embiids and stuff. They can do this type of stuff, but not everybody can do it. And the other thing that he adds is, more quickness. Just being that he's quicker than your average center. He can definitely run up and down the court, better than an Embiid can, or even Jokic can move, but not that. He's a little lumbering. So, you know what I mean? Like, he can give you different dynamics. He can run you down the court. He can be physical in the paint. It might be a little tougher against a bigger body, but he can be physical. He's shown that he can be physical. But the biggest key there is him pulling the center out of that paint and allowing the Knicks to have those lanes to operate. The breakdowns can be so much better. And then the thing is, in those situations, it would be crazy that to watch Julius play the center position and also bring the ball up the court and then be able to move and set up. And then, because he can dish the ball and have 4 other guys around the perimeter that can all shoot it with him. I mean, I never thought we'd see a Knicks team that could do something like that. And look, we're here. It's real. So,
and I'll give you one better. Even during the spurt that we had in January, there were moments where we seen small ball lineups work where they just got out in transition and ran teams out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Out of the court. It was basically that. It was like they get a good rebounding, between Hart and Randle. They just collapse. They all help team rebound, and then they're out and they're swinging the ball. And it's like they don't even give the defense an opportunity to set up. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing, because you could go out on leads. Even when think back a couple of years ago when Derrick Rose had his little spurt here and he was running the bench row, they were going out and running, right? They were outscoring the starters at one time. So it's similar to that. That's what I see.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. Yeah. What were you going to say, Karan?
The rebounding, right? He said a great point with Josh Hart, because if OG's at the 4, I think it works with Josh Hart at the 3 or the 2 with Mikal, interchangeable, don't matter. But Josh Hart's rebounding and Randle's rebounding, you still have 2 guys that are really good rebounders on the floor. And as long as you keep 2 or 3 good rebounds on the floor, you can go small. Because like I said, these big guys today are not big guys. You got guys 6'10", they're on the perimeter. On the offensive end, that's why they're not getting the rebounds like that. That's why KP only averages 7 rebounds. Right, that's why Brook Lopez gives you about 5 rebounds a game. These guys are not crashing the glass like that. So
Jaren Jackson is another one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about his game. The people on my channel know how I feel about that guy, but these guys they're not rebounding, and I think that defensively, if they're not playing down low, it's not going to hurt. I just wouldn't start Randle at the 5. I would use it as like he's the backup 5, and you start Precious or Sims, and then run it like that. I wouldn't start Randle at the 5 though.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. I mean,
Quiet
listen,
money.
it's going to be crazy. I don't know what Tibbs is going to do, but I do feel like for the Knicks' sake, just because Julius Randle is such a strong rebounder, I feel like if you got anytime Julius Randle is playing center for the Knicks, Josh Hart better be out there on the floor, because I feel like
Yeah.
you're weakening the chances of us getting rebounds if you got Julius at the center, because most likely to take advantage of him, he's going to have to pull that center out, which will put him at a disadvantage to get rebounds because he'll be further from the paint, which that allows Josh Hart to go flying in there like he normally does. So I think we need him out there whenever Randall's playing that center spot.
Plus, we could even think about it like this, Ron, because think about like those centers that have, or the centers that are particularly the ones that we're going to be worried about, like your Joel Embiid's and your Jokic, and even like what Vucevic, guys who could play with their back to the basket. You're not necessarily going to put Randle on them. You could switch it and put OG on them.
Right.
And OG could be the guy who, demands that, defensive assignment, and then Randle will then continue to play his part as a power forward on the defensive side, right? And so there's different ways that you can mix and match in order to keep the balance of, the rebounding threat on our favor, So the versatility is unmatchable when it comes to like the Knicks compared to all the other teams in the NBA right now. And that's a win for us.
Shout out to Parrish Duggar. Thank you. Appreciate you. Good to see you, Parrish, as always. He says Julius
Parrish
is as good a rebounder as iHeart. Okay, but that doesn't change the fact that I feel like if you Julius is rebound, but you're used to seeing Julius at rebounding from the power forward spot. Julius is not the same rebounder, guarding centers. And I'm not saying he's going to have to, like John said, he doesn't necessarily on the defensive side, you can switch. He doesn't have to be the one guarding the center. On offense, maybe they'll run it that way. But so, yeah, there's some flexibility there. But it's just the whole thing. At some point, you might get matched up that way. And what I did notice, I don't know if you guys paid attention, but if you guys remember in the start of last season, Julius was having some struggles rebounding for a while. He for whatever reason, I don't know what it was, but he just, he was not really around his 10 that we're used to seeing. He wasn't getting a lot above 10. He was somewhere around 7, 8 for a little bit. And then he started to, get those numbers that we was used to, but it took him a minute to get there. So I just think that him being surrounded by a bigger body on a more consistent basis could play into his rebounding prowess for the Knicks. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I could be wrong. Julius Randle could be a beast this year. So, we'll see. I don't know how you guys feel about this, right? Because now that you also know that the Knicks are going to have to play a little bit more small ball than maybe they were even intending, do you feel like we are going to turn into, I mean, we showed a little bit of it last year. I mean, maybe a lot of it. But do you think we're going to turn into a run and gun team this year? Like, do you think that's going to be our style of play? What do you think, Karan?
I would say I think that we definitely going to play at a faster pace. Will that reflect in the stats? I don't know, because there was times last year I thought that we playing at fast pace and we still was like second to last. Mostly that's because of the offensive rebounding. The offensive rebounding takes a lot of those possessions away from, just the fast flow of the game, I would say. But I do think that defensively with Mikal Bridges and OG on the way, OG's going to get 1 or 2 steals a night. Mikal's going to do his thing getting stops. So, and like I said, with Josh Hart on the floor, Randle on the floor as a defensive rebounder, because like I said, a lot of the centers, they're either shooting for 20-something feet out or they're just big guys that just get rebounds and stuff like that. I think Julius Randle can hold his own inside the paint, boxing out, rebounding, right? If he's not going up against those dynamic bigs, but like John was saying, OG on the 5 is the alternative. So that keeps Randle in his natural position. I think Randle is primed to do 26, 12 rebound. I think I wouldn't be surprised, and this might sound crazy to some of you Knicks fans. I think Randle might be the first option on this team, scoring wise. I could see that happening. I know a lot of you, oh, what do you mean, Brunson, this, that, and the third? I think Brunson is going to be more of a facilitator this season because he has so much option shooting. And then when it's time to close out the game, that's when Brunson's going, that's when it's his time. Get out the way. Let me do what I got to do. But like throughout the first 3 quarters, I see the ball moving like never before. The offense being so efficient. You're going to have lineups, especially if Randle's at the 5. Even with Precious Achiuwa, he could even be a 3-point threat, right? Or someone that's just diving in from the corners and someone you got to watch him backdoor, this, that, and the third. Somewhat of a pick and roll, half-wet lob threat. I'm not going to say he's a big-time lob threat, but he does catch lobs. But with that lineup, with Precious on the floor, that lineup becomes very more dynamic on the offensive end. So I'm looking forward to what this can be, right? I know it looks scary, but you got to remember, OKC was the first seed in the West last year. They got a center that weighs 200 pounds, and he's 7'1". I know they got our center now, but there's still no guarantees he's the starter there, right? Because I read reports that he might not even start. He might just come in to help rebound off the bench. So you never know. But they were very small. So we've seen teams that are dynamic from 1 to 4 compensate for the 5 not being so strong, right? But Julius Randle, to me, is a strong 5 if he's at your 5. That's one hell of a 5 because ain't no 5 guarding him, let alone 4s right now. So now you got him at the 5 spot. They're gonna have to find their OG Anunoby to match up with him. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think I got a lot of faith in Leon Rose and I got faith in Tibbs. I think they're gonna figure it out. I think that, like I said, we may not see it now, but when March comes, we're gonna be like, yo, that center spot. Remember when we was worried about the 5? That's the least of our worries now. So that's what I believe. Maybe call me optimistic. But hey, that's just how I see it, guys. I call it how I see it. And it's early. Things can change, but we'll see.
I hear you. Before I throw it over to John, I just wanted to say, Parrish, you are confusing me, bro. I'm confused by you, Parrish, which is not the first time, but Parrish, you said you came in here. Is this still the Randle Love Train show continuing? Because you've been very speculative about Randle and his effectiveness coming back from injury. So this is your comment. This comment fits your current persona and how you've been lately about Randle. But then you hit me with, so Ron, Julius can't be Al Horford or Sabonis. Come on, man. Randle is a major upgrade. What we doing here, Parrish? I'm so confused. I don't know where we're going, bro. Wait, hold on. I said, let me clear my throat. Here we go. Shout out to you, Paris. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, genius move to delay Mitch. Now Randle will feel needed at the 5 and won't feel funny sitting Mitch. It also starts the Donte and Deuce gets big minutes brilliant. That's fair.
Conspiracy theorist. It could be. You never know. Could be.
Hey, we know how the Knicks are like. People like to call the Knicks, the Leon and the group, the mafioso. They move in silence. Listen, this maybe Hey, you might be right, Paris. Hey, I hope. Well, look, if this is what got you in a better mood about Julius, then I'm with it, because you've been rough on Julius lately. So yeah, let's go.
I'll say this, John. Though, like for me, I would be surprised. It would surprise me as a fan to see us start the season with Randle as a starting center. It would surprise me. I would not see that coming. That would really shock me.
Right.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be upset about it. It would just be surprising to see. So I mean, then it would show again Tibbs' growth in the position that he's in, because for the years that we've seen him with the Bulls, with the Timberwolves, like he's never been that. He's always wanted a rim protector, right? Even when he talks about the scheme that he likes to run defensively, he always talks about having a solid rim protector. And with Julius at the 5, you won't have that anymore. As a matter of fact, you may not even have it with Sims anymore, because he's not somebody who's gonna, affect the shots in that same way. He's a good rebounder, not necessarily a shot blocker. So it's going to be interesting to see like which way we go, and so that's what I'll say.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Paris says you are just Randle sensitive. We can criticize Julius, but believe he's good. No, I mean that's fair. Listen, I'm one of those people that criticized Julius for like almost half a year, maybe half a year, a couple years ago. Yeah, definitely. But I've changed because Julius has changed, right? And so now I got my pom-poms. Hooray! Yeah. I love Julius, and as a matter of fact, I love the guy so much that now you can't tell me nothing about him. I'm actually trying to tell more people of how good a player he is, and I'm letting people know that Julius Randle, stop me if you heard me say this before, is one of the best players in the NBA. He's got all the skills. He's got all of the things you want in a good player. Sometimes, like I said, we've talked about it in the past, he don't love defense. All right. If you don't love defense, you ain't going to show the defense that you need to show all the time. Guys who love defense, OG Ananobi's, the Mikal Bridges, you see it. The Jalen Browns, even Jason Tatum, you see it, right? He don't love defense, right? So he he works hard on his offense. And I'm not going to fault him for it. The only thing I will say is if we want to win a championship, we need the best out of all our players. And he needs to understand that he's got to take that next step. Sometimes he may want to go back into his old ways and let me dog it a little bit, get my breath because I've been working hard on it. No, we need full game, 48 minutes, whatever it may be, of Julius Randle on both sides, as best as you can give it, because that's how you win a championship. So, but that's all I'm saying, man. Julius is a good one, guys.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and Parrish, I mean, you're not wrong by saying rim protection is not where it's at these days. It's the changing of the guards, right? That's really, you're right. You're spot on. It's not where it's at anymore. But what I was saying in regards to that is that's what Tibbs has always preached in the past. And so, got to take a man at his word. So if he's willing to shift and change, then that's a shock for me. Like I said, it's never been the way, he's always projected wanting rim protection. Even last year, he salivated at the rim protection that we were able to provide throughout the season. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and shout out to Coach. Coach says his defense is trash. Well, his help defense, especially on the perimeter, is not the greatest, right? But his one-on-one defense, when he's guarding somebody and he's locked in, he's actually a pretty good defender. If you look at his statistical breakdowns, he actually stacks up in like the middle of the pack in defenders at his position, or even for bigs, right? So he's not as bad as we like to say he is. He just looks like, when you lack effort or you look like you're loafing or lollygagging. Oh man, lollygagging. I didn't think I was going to use that one. But when you look like that, it puts a bad taste in people's mouth about your game and what it looks like to us. But he is a lot better defender than we give him credit for. It's all about what Julius has always been: effort. You guys know I was going ham. Me and John were talking about that Philadelphia game with 48 seconds left when we had a chance to still win the game, and he didn't even run down the court and let the guy, like, that infuriated me. I don't need to see that. That's effort. If he gives the effort, I have nothing bad to say about Julius Randle. It's just effort. It's effort.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen spurts when he's played good defense. I mean, the games last year against the Bucks, where he really locked in on Antetokounmpo, you know what I mean? And he was a different type of player when he's motivated, and when he has a matchup that he likes or he wants to prove, even against the Magic, when he's up against, the young, power forward there. It's like he wants to show and prove what his worth is. He'll put in the effort. sometimes his last days ago because he don't feel like he needs to. He doesn't feel like he needs to bring it defensively all the time because he's doing so much on the offensive side. So,
but let's keep it real, guys. Like a lot of All NBA All Stars don't play defense. Now I know that's mostly on the guard side of the ball, but even a lot of these bigs, like they have ability, but when you're averaging 25, 10, and 5. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have to play defense. Don't lose me there. But I'm just saying that value, you better get some other guys to play defense. If you get somebody to find someone that average 25, 10, and 5. I mean, that's not they don't come too many guys like that, man. It's very slim pickings. So, but now without Mitch, that's why I want to start Precious, because I'm not saying Precious is this world beater, but you're going to have to say, Precious, look, this is your assignment. You are going to start at the 5. You might not close at the 5, but you're going to have to show us some initiative. You're going to have to bang. We know you're going to be small. We're going to help you. You're not by yourself out there. But that's why I don't want to start Julius Randle at the 5. I think that he needs to be the back. If you're going to play him at the 5, he has to be the backup. Going up against some of these other guys, I mean, the list of these guys, Christian Woods and Paul Reeds and Tillmans, guys like that. He doesn't need to go up against the starting Rudy Gobert's and the big guys. I think that Randle off the bench will be fine. But Precious Achiuwa and Sims, if he's asked to be in that role, because John also brought up his name, very good candidate, they're going to have to step up to the plate and really help out at that point. But I just wanted to and Coach is my man too. Salute the coach. He's one of my mods. He's in my Discord server. Me and him, we go back and forth because he loves Karl Anthony Towns. But I think he kind of fell off of that a little bit. But yeah, Randall's he's that guy, man. So let's not, kill him for the defense too much, because Jokic doesn't play no defense. But I digress. Let's go.
That's a fact. But and there's a lot of them out there, right?
Neither does Luka, and it's like
or Kyrie, or Donovan Mitchell. Like you can keep going down the line of all these guys.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how it is in the league, man. We're no different, and we want to be just as good as the best teams, if not better. So yeah, I just want to, the bottom line is, Julius matters, right? Julius Randle matters. The big 30 matters. Whoa, look at the segue. And guess what? You too can show that Julius matters by getting yourself a little Big 30 Matters merch, right? Exclusively at Still Knick Fans at the Still Knick Fans store on YouTube.
Before we go there, you got to take off his defense is trash, because you can't sell a t-shirt.
But this is what I want to tell y'all. You think his defense is trash, but Big 30 matters. That's what
no doubt.
I like that. I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, but so that's one of them things like that, I think that for whatever reason, Randle just he gets a little bit of a bad rap sometimes, that it's deserved, but sometimes it's undeserved too. Like he's done so much to show you the type of player he is and the type of heart he is, for this team when he came over here. We were so excited. Like no one really wanted to come at that time. No one wanted to come to the Knicks, and Julius came. We were like, oh, okay. I mean, it's Julius Randle. Yeah, that's how we felt. And then he started balling out.
No one knew, like legit. Right? No one knew
exactly.
Like, he played with the Pelicans. He was good numbers. He also was with Holiday too. So they didn't have, they had a nice little nucleus there, but no one knew.
We didn't know.
Small team.
Yeah. But he showed out, and he played good for us.
And think about that year. Wasn't Morris that first year he was here? Wasn't Morris the leading scorer of the team?
Morris, yeah, I was talking about it on Saturday. Morris was cooking. Cooking.
He was, right? Yeah. He was the one
he was.
And so Julius was the number 2 option at that point.
And then later, like I think towards the end of the season, like when it was all said and done, I think Julius passed him. But at one point, Morris was cooking.
Yeah.
Like Morris was I said this on Saturday, I couldn't even believe it came out of my mouth. Marcus Morris was our go-to guy, and he was cooking. This was crazy. What a crazy year that was, bro. Crazy year.
And that was COVID year, right? Wasn't that?
Yeah.
The bubble? That was the bubble.
COVID. Yeah.
Right before it.
Right before it.
Right. That was.
And then they shut down in March.
Suave, man.
Wild stuff, man. Wild stuff.
But that was Dave Fizdale too, running the show.
That's right. There was no
Mr.
structure.
No offense. Here, take
that team was the wild west.
Structure.
It was no structure, man. You know, I don't like to dump on people, but that team. I mean, it was the wild. Then you had RJ Barrett just in the corner. It just was
right.
That was nuts, guys. But yeah, that just wanted
wasn't
to show
that the
y'all.
year that that was the year he hit two in the head, right, with the ball.
Was that the?
Wait, was
oh
that the year?
Yeah.
Wow, bro, that was wild.
He was in rare form that year, bro. Rare form. Mook was mooking. It was crazy. But I just wanted to show y'all that there's some merch out there. But the bottom line is, you know, let's not forget the statement. The statement is Big 30 matters. Like, give Julius some love, man.
Right.
So I didn't hear it. Did y'all hear it? Must have missed it. Shout out to Paris Duggar once again. Appreciate you. Randle would embarrass a KP first quarter of any game. Oh, thank you, Paris. That's true. Listen, and I think you agree with us. Randle has all the talent in the world. It's all about him putting it together and giving the effort. Because honestly, you know, the only thing is when it comes to Julius Randle, if Julius Randle gave you the same type of effort, just the effort on defense that he gave on offense, would he not be a top 15 player in the league? I think he would. I really think he would. And the other, he could be top 10. Because technically, if we're gonna go by what these people say when it comes to this stuff, because why do awards if they don't mean anything? He's been all NBA, right? And if you make all NBA, that means you make one of the 3 best teams, right? Yep. So that means you got to be one of the top 15 players.
The top 15.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
how do you get ranked 59 on the top 100 list?
Oh, and by the way, I thought we talked about exactly.
I don't follow. What happens?
So on Organic's show, Objective show. Apologies because we have an Organic Fanatic podcast.
Yeah,
as well.
I know. Get it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on Objective show, he went over it was the CBS list, right?
Mm-hmm.
He went over the CBS list, and if you guys know, I mean, Julius is ranked 59. Is it?
No, he was ranked 54. No, listen. So the previous year, 2023, 2024, right? That season, right? He was ranked 59. 59 on that list, the same list.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes up 5 spots for this season. He goes up 5 spots. He's at 54 right now. And he only played 40-some games and didn't make the All-NBA team. How do you make the All-NBA team and an All-Star, right? And you're 59 in the top 100 list. And then the following year, you go up 5 spots, but you play less games and you don't make the All-NBA team.
But he was an All-Star.
He was, but I'm just saying the list, the point of it.
No, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Whoever's making this stuff up, you know, they don't watch basketball. I'm just going to keep it real.
Journalists, man. They're journalists. They just
come on, bro.
They take a list from ESPN. They take the top 10, and then they start throwing people in wherever they think they fit.
It's ridiculous, man. I think on Hoops Hype he was like 38 on Randle. So other lists he was, you know, a little higher. I still could argue with that too, but 54, 59 is ridiculous.
That's the one thing when you look at those lists, you go down the list and you start like looking at the power forward position specifically and like who is better than him? There's like not that many people. No. So how does it take you that long to get to his name? Is the question. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. It is wild, bro. I mean, look, I'm not even I'm acting like a homer lately when it comes to Julius, but I don't have to be. The dude is good. He's shown you that he's good. But even if he made the All-Star team last year, but he only played 46 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't make All-NBA because of that. But even if that's the case, right? You could say, all right, the year before he should have been top 15 because he made All-NBA. So, all right, this time he didn't, and he didn't play all the games. So I'll even say he can't be top 30. But I don't think you can move him that far from after that. Like you can't. Like he's still one of the better players in the league. Like
yeah.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
there's no way. I see Paris saying it's about his effort. I was like, there's no way you. How can you put a statistic on effort? Like, that's not a statistical measure. Like, there's not. That's I don't know how you do that.
And the other thing too is, why is Julius Randle's effort more scrutinized as opposed
And
to
Joel Embiid, who don't really play defense like that either.
Or any of these guys, Kyrie Irving,
Luke,
like all of these guys effort on defense.
Yo, listen, after the MVP, right? He won MVP. He was 6th on the list. Last year, he gets hurt, doesn't make an MVP. I think he's number 5 now. You go one spot and you don't make MVP. Yeah, don't get me started on the list, man. Go watch my show on The Objective Knicks Fan, Level-Headed Knicks Talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
watch broke all of that down. It's crazy, man.
That's wild, bro. Shout out to Deron Wayne. Thank you, my brother. He said, join SKF. We need more soldiers in the SKF army. That is a fact. Appreciate you, Deron. But speaking of your show, just wanted to do. Yes. We normally do this when we have somebody on, especially when we want to get into it. We usually kind of get into person's background and all that stuff to start the show off. But we had this, everybody had Mitch on the brain, and I hope you can bear with me just for a little bit longer. I kind of wanted to do things in reverse. But before I get to that, I just wanted to show guys out there, listen, if y'all haven't checked out The Objective Knicks Fan yet, please do. Listen. I think I've if you've been watching, I've been trying to say it. The content is really good, and it's not just when it comes to this Knicks community. There's a lot of us, right? So because there's a lot of us, there's going to be moments where we talk about similar things, right? But the key thing that separates us from everybody, you know what I mean? Like everybody, I don't mean like still Knicks fans. I mean like who separates the content creators is the way you do your content and how you interact, with the chat, but also how you make people think and all of these different things that we try to do. Because content creation is not just, whatever. I'm just gonna turn the thing on, you talk Knicks, whatever. What up, y'all? Nah, it ain't that. We try to be a little better at it and put some time and effort into it. And let me tell you, Karan, the Objective Knicks Fan, does a really good job of doing that. Some of his topics and some of the things that he talks about, it makes you think at things a little differently. And also he revisits certain things, different moments in our lives as Knicks fans that, you haven't had a chance to really talk about. I mean, when I was on the show, we talked about the 90s and Patrick Ewing. Yes. Right. And we talked about the dynamic of that whole ordeal and that time and like who was to blame and like, right. And we broke it down, and that was a dope show and just different ways of looking at things. So you guys know what you get from us. Now you know what you get from him, and you get all these different things from all these Knick content creators. This community is great, guys. So just keep supporting everybody, but definitely go support the Objective Knick Fan.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. Like these guys, they're on the road to 3,000. Make sure you subscribe to Still Knicks Fans. Join the army. Also, I'm on the path to 1,000. I'm like within 15 subscribers from 1,000. So all Knick Nation, all Knick family, go to my channel, hit it up. Let's get to, because I'm trying to get there this week. So, and I will be doing another Level-Headed Knicks Talk this Wednesday. So definitely come rock with me. Thank you for the kind words, Ron. I really do appreciate it. I love this talk and this Knick Talk, but like you said, I try to, have some alternative ideas to get you guys thinking, not just coming at it from the, straight and narrow. Oh, that's this Knicks just hit the mic. No, I really want to make you guys think, like asking certain questions. Like we didn't get a chance to do the Mellow show, completely forgot about it, but hopefully I'm gonna try to get it done before the season start, where we're gonna talk about Melo's legacy, the same way we talked about Patrick Ewing's legacy. So, was it misfortune or mismanagement? So, thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely dope. Definitely tune in, guys. Show him some love. And look, look. I know for us, it's a little bit.
Replay gang is heavy with us.
Yes,
so definitely go jump on his shows. And go back to the beginning and work your way in. So definitely, I'm sure I'm gonna be like on my binge watching now that I know Okay, I gotta go through a couple of them in a row.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I'm on your channel too. I may not comment, but I'm always listening. Even if sometimes I just say a comment to let you know I'm here, but I listen
I
very
see
well.
you.
Like, the heliocentric show. That's why that always stick to my mind. So I gotta respond to that because I didn't get a chance to, type away in the comments. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. We try here and there. We'll try to come up with something. But while we have you, real quick, before we get out of here, I mean, listen, man.
Yeah.
We don't know your story, brother. We don't know how.
Okay.
How'd you get here, man? What did it for you as a youngin? What gave you that love of being, a Knicks fan, or even like John likes to say, what inspired you as far as basketball, playing as a kid? Well, anything that kind of led you to the point of getting into basketball, liking. How did the love start?
Well, it all came from my dad, right? And John, I got to show you need to check out on my channel. I actually have my dad on the channel. We were hanging out for Labor Day, just talking about Mitchell Robinson because Mitchell Robinson wasn't rated as a top 30 center. And now I'm starting to see why. Let me not go there. But we did a live talking about that. But the love for the game definitely comes from my dad. My dad, he played it. And so, watching him play, not professionally, but he played, for fun, like high school basketball. That kind of was like his limit. My limit was kind of like leagues and things of that nature. I didn't get to go to college or nothing like that. Though I do play semi-pro, on occasion now. But so yeah, the love of the game comes from my dad, watching the Knicks since, I go back to the 80s. That's when I was born. But when the 90s came, that's when I really was like, especially like the mid 90s, that's like my prime where I really fell in love. I knew what was going on. I knew what John Starks was trying to do. I knew Ewing, and I had a great, sense for the game. And then I started playing also when I was like around 9 years old. And ever since then, man, I'm a basketball fanatic. Yes, I'm a Knicks fan, but I love basketball, period. I mean, I watch games. I watch women's basketball. I'm trying to get more into college basketball. It's just too much for me, too many players, but I'm just a basketball head. I still play. So yeah, that's where my love of the game started when I was very young, since I was a baby coming up. So, and my son now, he just turned 2. I'm hoping that he has the same love. So I'm trying to, show him things, but he's still a baby. He doesn't really know what's going on, but he does have a basketball hoop. And yeah, so that's where it comes from.
Nice.
Wow. That's dope.
So what about the Knicks? What about the Knicks community and what was the reason for starting your own podcast, I should say, about the Knicks?
Well, I actually went to college. I went to St. John's University. Salute to STJ, alums in the house. And I had class with J. Cole. I'm not gonna say he was my best friend, but if he was to see me walk in a room, he's gonna be like, I know you from somewhere. More than likely, he's going to know me from St. John's University. So I actually went to school for sports management. And at the time, I wish I knew about media, in sport, because there was no YouTube like that. There wasn't no real media side to sports. It was just like, only thing I knew at that time was become an agent. But I was hearing a couple of things about the industry that I didn't like. So I went in a whole different direction. So, and then that took me down a whole crash course of different careers. I was in the music industry. And then, not too long ago, I started a YouTube channel, different topic, different stuff. I was doing love and relationships and things of that nature. So while I'm doing that, somebody brought the idea, hey, why don't you talk sports? Or somehow the idea to talk sports came up. But before that, on Facebook, because, they have these Facebook Knicks groups, I was very heavy into those groups. And I used to always have this moniker, the Objective Knicks fan, from going back to like 2016. I was always in there and I would just hashtag the Objective Knicks fan, right? Just giving my take, people, already know how Knicks fans are crazy, trade this person, trade that, And so you go in there, you try to have level-headed Knicks talk and all of that stuff. That's where all that came from. Just trying to really like, all right, guys, you guys are all over the place. Let's draw it back. So that's where it came from. It started from just me already having other YouTube channels and then deciding one day, hey, I might as well talk sports. And then I said, you know what? Let me not just talk sports because it's so broad. let me talk Knicks because I really know the Knicks. That's my team. So let me start there. And I started the channel in early, I think February 2023, but I didn't start posting content until like April 2023. So or March 2023, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
what a great year to start too. 2023.
Yes.
That's a nice year to get it going. Yeah, man. That's a nice year to get it going. Oh, that's great, man. Nice to hear how you started and how you got to this point, and to have you as a part of this Knicks community, man. The one thing I could say that John and I have witnessed and grown to love is the camaraderie that we have within the community. Like it's become a real welcome place for us to, be able to talk Knicks talk with not only just the people that support our shows, but just other fellow content creators, and go to events and watch parties and just chop it up and have great times. We've had great experiences. So it's been great, man. And I'm glad to have you a part of it too. And now hopefully as things progress and this Knicks season progresses, we'll, maybe be able to link up in person and chop it up and hopefully watch them on the road to a championship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm there. One thing I have to say, because this is a Knicks show. The great Dick Barnett was my business management teacher at St. John's University.
Oh, that's
I'm mad I forgot to say that. I'm mad I forgot to say that. So I'm certified.
Nice.
The great Dick Barnett was my teacher.
We did a segment on Dick Barnett, right?
Segment on Dick Barnett in our what was it?
NBA. Back when we had that show called the NBA Report, right? You guys remember that, right? Back when the Still Knicks Fans guy had a show called the NBA Report. We've changed it to the NBA Wrap Up, but that used to be the name of our show. Just in case you didn't know. Back then. I don't know if you heard of that name before, but whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, we heard the name for sure, but I didn't know that was the origin of. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. We were the Ray J of the NBA Report. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, all right. I know where the originators are now. All right, that's
another one.
Yeah. That's right. Another one. In case you didn't know.
Another one.
But I just want to say shout out to the chat once again. We see y'all in here. Please, hopefully you smash that like button for the show and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Mega NYK in the building. What up, Mega? Good to see you, brother. Hello. Always a pleasure. Shout out to Craig in the building. We see you, Craig. Good to see you. Yorkel is in the building and he's happy because the Yankees are peaking right now. Shout out to you, Yorkel.
Let's go.
Space Ghost is in the building. What up, Space Ghost? There's another team peaking in New York too in baseball, but we don't have to get into that because we just letting our game play. Listen, look, let me have my moment. We suck in September every year. This year we finally playing good in September. Let us have our moment.
Live it up.
No shade here. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We don't get this too often, man. I gotta take it. We cooking in September, baby. Let's go.
Oh, hold on, guys. We gotta give the best team in New York City love. I'm mad I didn't do it on my podcast. We have to salute the New York Liberty. They are the favorite to win the championship out of all these teams. Knicks, Yankees. I don't care about none. The Liberty, they have the best shot to get it done, and I think they're going to get it done. Them girls are balling, man. I mean, woof. If the Knicks can ball like that, oh my god.
That's a good point. Liberty look good.
Gotta give them a salute.
Great, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gotta give them a salute.
Yeah, shout out to the New York Liberty, man. Oh, and also shout out to American Man in the building. I see you, brother. Good to see you. Yep. No, we don't go for the Randle hate. Nah. It's all about appreciating what we got, and he is definitely a big part of our team. But yeah, man, I don't want to keep everybody too much longer. I think this has been a really good show. We had a fantastic conversation with our guy Karan here, the Objective Knicks fan. Please, as we already said, go support his show. He is 15 away from 1,000. I mean, come on, y'all can get that. Y'all can make that happen right now. Right after this show, go over there, hit that subscribe button. Let's get it rocking. Yes. So I just wanted to get over to you, my brother Karan. Any final words? Anything you're looking forward to? And when's the next time you gonna have a show?
Oh, this Wednesday for sure. Level-headed Knicks talk. I got a double header. I got to go to my daughter to meet her teacher that night, but I'm still gonna do the show. This is the dedication that we have. But yeah, this Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Level-headed Knicks talk. I don't want to say a topic yet because next thing you know, something crazy happened. But just know it's going to be great Knicks talk. Great Knicks talk. Right now, I'm thinking about doubling down on Mitchell Robinson, and why I think it's kind of a blessing that he's gone down now instead of later on in the season. I think I might do something on that along those lines. But definitely, take the time, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe first, or subscribe to Still Knicks Fans because you guys are here first. If you're not subscribed, I don't know what's going on. A lot of the guys in the chat come from my side too. They kind of like, be on both of our shows. Salute to those guys if you subscribe to both channels. But definitely subscribe to Still Knicks Fans. Hit the like button. Hit the merchandise store. Check out what they got. They got some good stuff on there. I do like that. What was it? The 30? I like that.
Yeah, big 30 matters, man.
Big
Something
30
30
matters.
Yeah, big 30 matters.
Yeah, big 30 matters. Go get you some big 30 matters merch. Is definitely important. And then after you do that, go over to the Objective Knicks Fan, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Like I said, I dropped a pod today. Of course, it came right before the Mitchell Robinson news, but there's some other things that I talked about in that episode. I talked about Mikal Bridges and his extension, right? Maybe I might double down and do a show on that too on Wednesday. But there was an NBA analyst that said why Mikal shouldn't sign his extension now. So go check out the podcast, and I kind of unpack that, break that down, and definitely thanks to Ron and John for having me. It was a pleasure, man. I look forward to coming back on here to talk more stuff, especially as the season starts. Definitely live events. I'm for it too. I would love to. I'm outside. We if you have a live event that you guys want to do, I'm there. I love to watch the Knicks and talk Knicks and stuff like that. Though I don't like to really go to the games too much, only because I just love the MSG broadcast. I like to be able to rewind the game. I mostly watch the games twice anyway, but when you go to the Garden, you definitely have to watch it twice because there's going to be things you're going to miss that you're not going to catch. And then the lovely MSG broadcast where they tell you the stats and things of that nature. So that's all, man. Definitely go subscribe. Let's get to 1K. Let's get to 3K. Let's make it happen, y'all.
Yes, man. Exactly. Dope. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for all being here, tuned in. Another great show. Oh, man. Look at our guy, Knicks fan Brazil in the building. Victor. What's going on, Victor? Hope you're doing well, my brother. Listen, I apologize. I haven't been the greatest friend. I got to be better. We used to communicate on X. But then now that I know that X has been banned in Brazil, I'm like, that's not great. Wow. So I hope you're doing well, brother. I hope we're going to be able to see some new content from you going forward for this upcoming season. And, obviously, if you need us or need me, whatever, John, very busy these days, but we can try to make it happen.
We get Karan on,
Yeah, Knicks fan Brazil, man. Yeah. Yes, that's fact.
Take us worldwide.
Let's rock out.
Yes, sir. Take it worldwide. Facts. Appreciate you, brother. Good to see you. All right. So let me get over to my brother John. But I just want to tell you guys, yes, Big 30 Matters merch. Don't forget, go to the YouTube store, the Still Knicks Fans merch store, and you can cop yourself some merch. We also got some other stuff, there's some different things out there. Don't be shy. Go take a look. Don't be afraid. Anyway,
nice stuff, man.
John.
Nice stuff.
Man, as always a pleasure to be on with you, Ron, and thank you, Karan, for just being on with us. It's been a pleasure having you on. Like I always say, man, stay safe out there, stay blessed. Looking forward to the next one, man.
There you go.
I appreciate that.
You as well. Yeah, man. Appreciate all you guys out there. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Shout out to Jay from PR, my brother. I see you. Thank you for being here, Jay. Good to see you as always. Salute. As I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Monday nights at 9-ish. You know how we do. For SKF Weekly with myself, my brother John, and hopefully, because I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah. I got an update, by the way.
What's the update?
The update is that we will see Jose the start of the season.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
okay.
He plans
Yeah,
to
all
be
right.
The
with
Jose.
us on opening day.
Okay, all right, all right. We'll take it, guys. We'll take it.
Yeah,
We're getting
yeah.
Jose very soon. Yes, the three amigos will be back, y'all. We almost there. We almost there. Karan, you may not know because he's been away. Jose is one of our brothers.
Producer.
So he's a producer
Brother.
behind the scenes, holding us down. He
Nice.
just had a beautiful little baby girl, so he's been out
Congrats.
doing his daddy stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I know what that's like. I just went through that. Yes.
Yeah.
Still
yeah.
going through it.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you and congratulations to him once again. We can't
Right.
wait to have him back.
You say your
but yeah.
baby, you have a son or daughter?
A son, he's 2. I got a daughter too. My daughter is
2 years old.
13.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, my son's
Yeah,
2.
so you're right
That's
there.
great.
Yep.
Oh, and also shout out to JJP NYC. I think I might have commented on your comment earlier, but I don't know if I gave you a shout out. Shout out to you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. But anyway, so that being said, also take notice that Know the Ledge is still rocking on Saturdays at 11:30, and you guys have been great. You have not really been too crazy, so I have not had to hit the Know the Ledge out the window thing. Y'all been rocking and y'all been all right, but the season hasn't started yet, so I know I still got time. Because if there was ever a time to jump out that window, today might have been the day. Once we found out about Mitch's news, because when I heard it, I was
See
like,
if I know the ledge.
"Oh no, oh man, oh no!" I think we might have lost objective. His connection might have dropped, but that's okay. We're wrapping up the show anyway. Yeah, but once again, guys, want to thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. It has been a pleasure as always. Listen, we talk about the doom and gloom, but this Knicks team is a good Knicks team, right? So let's see what they can do. Let's see what the organization decides to do, whether they go with it as is and these guys rock out, or if they decide to make a move. But either way, no matter what happens, through all the ups and downs, throughout everything that could happen, we are, you guessed it, still Knicks fans. There you go, baby. All right, man. Once again, thank you guys. We out of here. We'll catch you on the next one. Oh, and also don't forget, guys. I may not have brought this up before. Don't forget, Nothing But Knicks. Mr. Simeon Russell, he's back. So our Nothing But Knicks content is about to start going again. So stay tuned, guys. So you might see us in the middle of the week. If John's available, he's available. He may not be, but that's okay. I will hold it down. You know how we do.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take it easy. Have a great night. We out.
Salute.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.